Welcome back, folks. Welcome to the Awful Angler YouTube channel. Something a little bit different today. Today we are going to be reviewing the Akios Powa-Lite headlamp. Quick disclaimer before people get the knickers in a twist, I have recently become part of the Akios Alliance. That means that Akios send me out products like this to review, to test, to feedback on, and ultimately to tell you guys all about. Now, I don't get paid for this and I'm not on commission, so there is no incentive for me to give you guys the hard sell. I'm purely here to give my honest feedback. So let's get into it then. The Akios Powa-Lite is going to retail around about the £60 mark. Now let's not forget, a headlamp, as far as I'm concerned, is a piece of safety equipment. So around about the £50 mark is the minimum I would be looking to spend on a headlamp that you're potentially going to be relying on to get you out of situations in the dark. Now, one of the first things that you're going to notice when you unbox the Akios Powa-Lite is just how light it actually is. It comes in at 170 grams, and that is split between the light unit and the battery unit, which is split front and back of your head. Now, once you actually put it on, it is ridiculously light. It is so comfortable to wear, you hardly realise you've got it on. Now, that doesn't mean that they've compromised on quality either, so both the light unit and the battery container itself are both metal units, nice, strong and robust. The second thing that you'll notice in the packaging is the charger. Now, the charger for the Powa-Lite is a magnetic charging system, which means it's not your usual USB-C. I quite like having all my equipment having the same charger. It means I only need one lead and I know I can charge everything up. However, I have seen quite a few things like headlamps go to magnetic charging systems, and that is because it improves the water ingress capabilities. Now, the Akios Powa-Lite is IP64 rated. Now, if you're not familiar with the IP rated system, the first number is with relation to dust, and 6 is as high as it gets, which means the Akios Powa-Lite is completely sealed from any sort of dust ingress. Now, the second number is related to water ingress. This gets a 4. That means it is completely sealed when exposed to splashes and sprays, which means it's fine out in torrential rain. The higher numbers, 5, 6 is related to jets, so you could jet wash it. 7 is full immersion up to 1 meter, and then 8 is completely submerged. Now, if you are completely submerged with a headlamp on, you've probably got bigger issues than getting a bit of water in there. Now, the next thing on my notes, and probably the biggest one for me, to be honest, is the lack of a battery condition indicator. This is something I've come quite reliant on in my previous headlamps. If you are more organised than me and you know you charge it up every time you've used it, fair enough. However, the Akios Powa-Lite does have 8 hours of battery time, and I have tested this. I have used it on a full fishing session, 5-hour fishing session, and several dog walks. My problem is I don't quite know when it's going to run out. Like I say, if you are more organised than me and you do charge your equipment up regularly, you shouldn't have a problem. And now comes the bit you're obviously all interested in when buying a headlamp: the light itself. It is bright. I can't say anything other than that. It is a pretty impressive headlamp. For 60 quid, I don't think you'll get much better than this. The headlamp comes with 3 different settings: low, medium and high. It also comes with a flashing function, just in case you're at a disco. And then we get to the second biggest selling point after how bright it is the fact that you can manually adjust the beam pattern to suit your needs. Now, I understand that might be Marmite to some people. Personally, I really like it. I use a much more expensive headlamp and it has got either flood or beam settings, and there is no in between, unfortunately. Sometimes that means that I end up using both lamps at once and it smashes the battery away. With the Powa-Lite, I can adjust it to whatever beam pattern I see fit. It also means that by adjusting it, you can use quite comfortably the lowest setting for most situations, which therefore prolongs your battery life, gets you that 8 hours worth of use. Now, one thing that I will say is when you first get the light, if you've got sausage fingers like me, it is quite easy to catch the button. However, having said that, I've had this now for 3 weeks. I've used it on multiple dog walks, fishing sessions, and I don't catch it at all. So if you're willing to persevere and push through that, it's perfectly fine. The Powa-Lite does boast a 250 meter beam on its highest setting. I'm skeptical whether it gets that 250 meters. However, I have compared it to the LED headlamps on the wife's car just for a laugh, and to be honest, it stacks up pretty well. So there we have it then. The Akios Powa-Lite. If you ask me, I think you'd be hard pushed to find a better quality headlamp for the price. It's tough, it's rugged, it's waterproof, and it's got 8 hours of battery life. So overall, I think for the price point, it's an excellent piece of kit. Now, is this going to replace my far more expensive headlamp? Actually, quite possibly. The only thing that puts me off is that lack of battery indicator. But this has become my favoured headlamp when out walking with the dogs. It's also going to go in my tackle box as a backup, and will probably be on the longer sessions my go-to headlamp given how lightweight it is. So there you have it, the Akios Powa-Lite, a really capable bit of kit on a budget. You can't ask for much more than that. Thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed this little review, and until next time, take care and tight lines.